Republicans and right-wing pundits who support Donald Trump have spent the last few days pretending to be outraged over a hot mic moment in which President Biden insulted a Fox News reporter. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Today, we're going to discuss Republican reactions to Biden calling a Fox News reporter a stupid SOB on a hot mic, because I'm willing to bet anything that's going to be the biggest story in politics for the foreseeable future.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Major Garrett in Washington. There is breaking news from the Supreme Court. CBS News has learned Justice Stephen Breyer plans to retire at the end of this term in June.
Oh, Seth, you stupid son of a bitch. Pulled a Biden on myself. Well, at least it works as a segue. News of Justice Breyer's retirement broke just a few hours before this taping, so I'll have more to say about it tomorrow. But this afternoon, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said Democrats would confirm a successor with all deliberate speed. And I can understand why he'd want to have someone in place before Republicans win back Congress, because his GOP reaction to Biden's hot mic moment has once again proved in order to be a Trump supporter, you have to lobotomize the part of your brain responsible for shame. That's why Rudy Giuliani always looks like he just woke up mid-brain surgery. Is this a still from the new Matrix movie? I took the red pill and the blue pill, and I gotta say, still nothing happening downstairs. By the way, we've used that picture so many times it's gotten a little dusty. Hold on. And that's it. Not even February. It's our entire special effects budget for the year. For example, here's Trump's son Eric on Fox News last night, claiming Trump worked harder than the current administration.
These people aren't president. They're not fighting for this country. You know, the difference between them and my father sat there 24 hours a day and fought for the United States' best interest.
The sat there part of your sentence was the only part that was true. Trump definitely sat there. He was the king of sitting. He always had that posture like a retired major league catcher whose body just froze like that. He did that upside-down diamond thing with his hands like Bizarro World Jay-Z. Trump's political superpower was his lack of shame. There was no crime he wouldn't commit, no lie he wouldn't tell, no matter how obvious or brazen it was. Trump would have walked out of the White House with the bust of Abraham Lincoln sticking out of his coat pocket if he thought he'd get away with it, which he might have been able to do since his coat looked like it was specifically made to hide marble busts. What was that conversation like with his tailor? Look at these beautiful lines. We could put a Lincoln right here, a Washington right here. No one will know. You've done it again, Giuseppe. You've done it again. And in order to support him, Trump's backers had to find ways to convince us that they didn't know he was the con man he obviously was, like the way Republican lawmakers would always have conveniently not read his tweets, or the way they kept insisting he learned his lessons. They said this man learned his lesson. He didn't even learn not to hit the tweet button if there was a red dotted line under a word. He would just say, I'm pretty sure TAP does have two Ps. And on this Twitter, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. I mean, forget Donald Trump. In the history of this nation, no rich white man in his 70s has ever learned his lesson. The only thing rich white men learn is salsa dancing, and that's only if their third wife insists on it. So in order to say something as naive as Trump learned his lesson, you have to have numbed the part of your brain that cares if people think you look stupid. That's clearly what's going on in the latest fake controversy surrounding Biden's outburst at Fox News correspondent Peter Doocy, which I'm sure you've all seen by now, but here it is anyway, just for us all to enjoy one more time.
You think in place with the political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah. Biden was muttering to himself like he just cut off on the interstate in his Stingray. Oh, look at this stupid son of a bitch. No, go ahead and merge. Definitely don't signal or check your mirrors. You're the only person in the whole damn world. Baby on board? Good luck growing up normal, kid. Now, Biden's 79, okay? Have you guys ever seen two old guys greet each other? Hey, look at this old son of a bitch. Hey, Bert, you ass. I see you're still ugly as sin. It's honestly pretty sweet, but word of warning, you can't jump in on that if you're under 60. They don't like that. Hey, Grandpa, you old bastard. What the hell did you just say to me, you little turd? And look, ideally, the president would not lob insults at anyone, including reporters. But if we're being honest, it was kind of a stupid question. I mean, really, does Biden think inflation is a political liability? What's he supposed to say? No, I think it's good that gas and ground beef are more expensive. I'm going to cruise to re-election on the strength of Subway's $6 footlongs. Anyway, all in all, I do have to say, both Ducey and Biden have handled this incident well. Ducey laughed it off, said he wasn't owed an apology, and Biden called him to tell him, quote, "It's nothing personal, pal." Which does strike me as kind of a non-apology apology. You called him a stupid son of a bitch. If it wasn't personal, then what was it, business? That's how we seal the deal in Scranton. You agree to the terms, shake hands, look each other in the eye, and say, "You stupid son of a bitch." But let's just get the false equivalency out of the way. No, this isn't even remotely like Trump, who repeatedly whipped his crazed fans into a frenzy by hurling insults at reporters and calling them the enemy of the people. Calling one person an SOB and then apologizing for it is not the same as unrepentantly hurling a constant stream of verbal abuse at reporters and threatening to punish or imprison them or change the laws to target them. I could give countless examples of this, but here's just one, random one I happen to like. When Trump called a reporter a criminal in 2020 for not reporting on his deranged conspiracy theories about the Biden family during the election.
Campaign strategy seems to be to call Biden a criminal. Why is that?
He is a criminal. He's a criminal. He got caught, read his laptop, and you know who's a criminal? You're a criminal for not reporting it. You are a criminal for not reporting it. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's been a criminal for a long time, and you're a criminal in the media for not reporting it. Good luck, everybody. Have a good time.
Now, you can't tell them to have a good time after you call them criminals. The only way that works is you're at the Legion of Doom Christmas party. This is the largest gathering of criminals, lowlife, and evil villains the world has ever known. Now have a good time. Don't forget to put your secret Santa gifts on the table by the alligator pit. That was always Trump's way of just erasing everything he said right before it. Have a good time. Like, he'd be in the middle of a terrifying rant where he threatens nuclear annihilation with North Korea, and then he'd wrap it up by saying, "So if we have to burn the sky and turn the world to ash, I will summon God's vengeance and rain blood down upon my enemies, but for now, have a good time." Because he'd be in the middle of a wedding toast at Mar-a-Lago. "You may now kiss the bride before she's a pile of ash." So Trump's record on this is obvious to anyone who's been awake for the last few years, and yet there are still some Republicans who think we're all born within the last 12 months and have no memory of what Trump was like as president. For example, Indiana Congressman Jim Banks tweeted in total sincerity, not as a joke, "Have we ever seen a president attack and malign the free press like Joe Biden has?" Only one of two things can be happening here. Either he's trolling us because Trump's record of antagonism toward the press is so obvious that he knows a comment like that will drive the rest of us insane, or he's got some sort of Benjamin Button disease where he looks like a middle-aged man but was actually born like a few months ago and legitimately doesn't know who Donald Trump is. And if that's the case, good on him. I mean, if Congressman Banks really is a baby who looks like a full-grown man, who am I to all over him for being dumb as a bag of rocks? I have a baby at home. She doesn't do anything. But this baby is out here, not letting Benjamin Button disease slow him down, serving his constituents, going to work every day with people who all have faces that are terrifying to babies. He's got to talk to these people and not burst into tears. Probably has a full diaper half the day. So again, if Congressman Banks is a Benjamin Button situation, and that's why he doesn't remember how Donald Trump treated the press, I apologize. But, if he is just a regular 42-year-old man, shut the up. But that was somehow not the most disingenuous reaction from a Republican member of Congress. There was also Ronnie Jackson, Trump's former doctor, who claimed in 2018 that Trump aced a cognitive test. Jackson said on Fox News yesterday that Biden's hot mic moment was a sign of cognitive decline.
It's completely unprofessional. It's embarrassing. And I've seen this multiple times with people of the president's age that are starting to have cognitive issues. They get short-tempered. They get irritable. They strike out. It's a defense mechanism to some extent when they don't know exactly how to answer questions or what's going on around them. He's got cognitive issues. He's not fit to be our head of state or our commander-in-chief.
Now, yes, he's a doctor. But remember, he's a doctor whose name is Ronnie. Now that you have your medical degree, you sure you don't want to change it to Ronald? Nah, I want people to know what they're getting when they walk in the door. Dr. Ronnie. But let me see if I follow. Short-tempered, irritable, striking out as a defense mechanism when they don't know how to answer questions, doesn't know what's going on around them. I just wish there was an example of someone prominent with those symptoms who we could compare him to. It's stumping me. I mean, for the life of me, I can't think of anyone who's ever exhibited these specific personality traits before. I mean, certainly not someone in the public eye, someone we all remember, you know, a businessman or an elected official, perhaps someone who served in a high-profile position within, I don't know, let's say, the last 13 months. If only that person existed. Well, I guess we'll never know. This is one of those seemingly trivial moments that actually reveals something fundamental at the heart of modern Republican politics. In order to be a successful Republican today, you simply have to have no shame, which is why it's understandable that Democrats want to move as quickly as possible to confirm a successor for Justice Breyer before Republicans have a chance to win back the Senate in November. Because if Mitch McConnell and the GOP get their way, they'll hold the seat hostage until a Republican president can appoint someone they like, someone who's a
short-tempered, irritable,
Stupid son of a bitch.
This has been a closer look. God's Love We Deliver cooks and brings over 2 million meals a year to men, women, and children living with HIV/AIDS, cancer, and other serious illnesses, and they need your help. Now more than ever, if you're watching this online, you can hit the donate button, stay safe, get vaccinated. We love you.